So I was just in the house cleaning and I looked out the window and saw that the sprinkler was on in the garden, and I never thought in a million years that I would find so much joy and satisfaction from having my garden being watered. Hey everyone, my name's Aubrey, recovering perfectionist, queen of distraction, gardener, wife, mom, and recently I had the opportunity of testing out and reviewing the RainPoint Smart 2-zone watering system. I was really excited to try this out because remembering to water is such a big struggle for me, and not even just remembering to water, but remembering to turn off the water is just a whole battle in its own. If I had $1 for every conversation that my husband and I had that went along the lines of, "So I left the water on in the garden for 6 hours today while the boys and I went to the zoo," and then he usually says something like, "You really need to be using the timer," I probably would have had enough dollars to just buy this a long time ago. Even though my watering system that I had in place, or lack of watering system, was a struggle, I was still very unhappy with the lack of control and features with most of the timers that we were able to find in our local hardware stores. And that is where the watering system from RainPoint comes in. This thing is an absolute game changer for me. Not only do I have control over my watering schedule and system over my phone, but the digital hub display is the ultimate visual reminder with all of the features that a gardener's heart could desire. I love that it displays the weather forecast. You can choose for it to just show your current day, or you can choose for it to show the current day and the following day, which is what I chose to do. It shows your indoor and outdoor temperature and humidity percentage. It shows your local UV index, the next runtime for your watering plan, and on top of that, it tracks your water usage. This whole system has been super user-friendly. The setup was an absolute breeze. So once you set up the Homgar app and you get your account all set up, if you're remotely tech savvy, you could probably do all this without instructions. The instructions are very detailed, and I did find it very helpful that there was a whole section dedicated to just troubleshooting any issues you might be having. The only issue that I ran into was when I first moved this out here, I thought it was too far from our Wi-Fi router, but I just ended up having to reset that, and it connected just fine, and we haven't had any issues since. So like I said, once that app is downloaded, your account is set up, and all of your devices are connected, then you can schedule your watering plans. For me, zone 1, or the left side, is connected to a sprinkler in my garden, and that's what I'm controlling off of my phone and what I have a plan for. Zone 2, or the right side, I just have connected to a hose, and I'm just using the manual start on this one for watering that I do out around the house and then in our greenhouse. With the manual option, you just press the button, and I like how it blinks periodically so you know that it's still running if you walk away for whatever reason. And a bonus, or not, this is toddler friendly. Once we do get into the more rainy season where we don't really have to worry about watering at all, which we are quickly approaching, we'll move this inside. That is one thing that they recommended, just moving it in during the months that you aren't utilizing it. When it comes to setting up the watering plan on your app, one thing that I really love, and that was the big selling point for me, was that there is a rain delay feature. You can choose from 24 to 72 hours, which being in the Pacific Northwest is a very important feature for me. With other watering timers, that was an area of our lives that I felt a big lack of control. I didn't want to be in a situation where our sprinkler was watering our garden while we were in the middle of a downpour. But with this feature, it is so easy, just like, oh, it's raining outside, and I can hop on my phone, check the forecast, and decide how long I do want to delay our watering schedule for. Now, when you do set up your watering plan, there are 2 options that you can choose from. You can just choose a specific length of time for the water to run, or you can choose for it to run for a specific gallon limit. And again, I do feel like that would be a really great option if you were in a situation where you needed to strictly observe your water usage, whether you're in a drought-prone area, or if you're like my parents a few months ago who were experiencing some significant well issues and really had to be super strict about their water usage. Another option you can set up is interval irrigation, where over a set period of time your watering system would run, and it would turn on for a short interval that you set, and then it would turn off for another short period of time, and just go back and forth between on and off over that duration of time that you had set for it to do so. That feature there, I do think, would be really beneficial if you were in a situation where you're trying to get a lawn established. Fingers crossed that will be us this year. But I do really think that this is going to be a huge game changer for us when it comes to starting a lawn. Our front lawn was a miserable fail last year because we just kept forgetting to water it. So aside from the app setup, the physical setup was also very easy. The digital hub has the option to either do a physical plug-in in your wall, or there's the option to just have it run off of batteries. And then this guy right here does require batteries as well. I was kind of concerned about water getting into the little area back here, but I could barely get the battery cover off because the gasket was so thick and strong that I really don't think that you have to worry about that at all. And there was a couple reviews that I had watched where people actually tested that, and there was no water leakage whatsoever, which for us, we experienced leaking with this faucet from the top right here. We need to replace it, but having that gasket sealed for the time being while we have that does feel important for us because obviously we want to keep this functioning properly. One thing RainPoint does recommend is having a faucet that points down, which since we're experiencing the leaking issues, we are going to swap that out. And this is a reason to finally check that off of our to-do list. Overall, this watering system really does feel like a product that will be a big part of our lives from now into the future. I am so excited for next year's gardening season. It's just going to be so much better. It's going to be so much more streamlined. And I do think that when we redo our drip irrigation system, that this will be a great companion for that. So I could probably talk about this thing all day, but I'll just wrap things up by saying, aside from being a mom with ADHD, I could see how this could be a huge help for anyone else busy who's just trying to streamline their watering system, or anyone who wants to garden but may be struggling with mobility. I guess I just say A+, 5 stars, 10 out of 10, chef's kiss. And since we are approaching the gift giving season, I do feel like this would be a great gift for the gardener in your life, whether that's a gift for you or somebody else. And for watching this video, RainPoint was generous enough to offer my viewers 15% off of their purchase using code SATHERN15OFF. I'll link all the things in the description below. And if you do need further convincing, I will also link another RainPoint review video that I found extremely informative before I made the decision to try this product out. It would probably be a good video to watch if you're going to be doing more lawn watering and less garden. Alrighty, with that all being said, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me and chat about this product. All of this automation stuff is much more my husband's area of expertise, literally, like, he does controls and automation for a living. So I feel like for someone like me to get excited about something like this, it's definitely a win in the garden department. Alrighty, well, we're gonna wrap things up for real. Like I said, thank you for hanging out. I hope to see you in another video. Have a lovely day. As always, I love you, have fun, and be kind.